Ready? Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. Happy Burning Bowl Day. In the midst of God's children, the Lord said he would be. It doesn't take very many. It can be just 2 or 3. And I feel the same sweet spirit that I felt of times before. Surely I can say that I've been with the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Good morning.
You want to hold up the microphone?
Yep, I guess I should.
Turn it on, yeah. Is it on?
There. Maybe it is. There it is.
There you go.
Okay. And this says, everyone please stand if you're able and sing Surely the Presence, but we didn't do that. So now while you're not still standing, please quickly take a moment to greet your neighbor. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yep. As you return to your seats, kindly silence your cell phone so it doesn't disturb our gathering. Hey, Jay.
Oh, that's gonna.
Good morning again. Hello, I'm Elaine Arnold, a member of Unity and not the vice president of the Board of Trustees, but I am on the Board of Trustees. Welcome to Unity of the Hill Country, where we offer a positive path for spiritual living. Let's give another warm welcome to our good friend Rick Busby, who's our speaker and musician today. Please join me now in our opening prayer as we join together in heart and in mind to celebrate the presence of the divine. May we feel at peace. May we find the joy of the universe filling our hearts with love. May we experience health and wholeness on all levels, mind, body, and spirit. The Christ candle is lit, calling forth our awareness of spirit. As this light shines, we set our intention to awaken inspiration, guidance, and remembrance of our divine nature. May the flame remind us that the Christ light lives within us and among us. Please join me in affirming our mission statement: to live consciously, celebrating the divine potential in all, as well as our statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe: God, the good, the omnipotent. And our vision statement: revealing oneness in a world of universal peace, love, and abundance. And one more, our affirmation for our new minister: it is with thankful hearts that we attract the right and perfect minister for unity of the Hill Country. Welcome to your new home. Affirmative prayer is essential to the unity movement. We are honored to pray with you. All written prayer requests are sent to the 24/7 prayer vigil at Silent Unity. You can also call the number on the screen any time of the day to have someone pray with you, or you can submit prayers online. You are never alone in prayer. We now turn our attention to our sacred prayer chest. Each name and request is placed within it is held in the light of divine love and infinite wisdom. We affirm that perfect healing, guidance, peace, and joy are already at work in each life. Let us now take a moment to hold space for all the prayers in our congregation, in our community, and in our world. We release these prayers into the care of Spirit, trusting all is in divine order. The Daily Word has been giving the worldwide unity movement a daily prayer since 1924. We join with millions of Daily Word readers throughout the world. Today's reader is not Mom, Tony Lopez.
A close second to Mom. The word of today is blessings. Say the affirmation with me. Blessings come into my life in the most unexpected ways. Sunday, December 28, 2025. I am blessed to live each day in the presence of God. As I turn within and quiet my thoughts, I open to God within. Grounded in this presence of wisdom, love, and peace, I feel connected with the divinity of all beings. In this awareness, I become newly aware of expressions of God everywhere. I feel blessed to behold nature's beauty, perhaps snow glistening in moonlight or the sun warming the earth, and birds soaring across the horizon. I find joy in smiling faces. I hear the laughter of friends, sharing simple pleasures. I enjoy the beauty of holiday decorations hung with care and appreciate the sacredness they represent. Acts of selfless service show me God's love in action. I am grateful for these blessings and for my infinite unfolding good. Blessed are those who trust in the Lord, whose trust in the Lord. Jeremiah 17:7. Say the affirmation with me. Blessings come into my life in the most unexpected ways. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tony. You did a great job. And now back to Rick for our congregational song, The Love That Is Loving the World.
I am the light and the love that is loving the world. I am the light and the love that is loving the world. I am the light and the love. You are the light and the love. We are the light and the love that is loving the world. Joy. I am the joy and the love that is loving the world. I am the joy and the love that is loving the world. I am the joy and the love. You are the joy and the love. We are the joy and the love that is loving the world. Peace. I am the peace and the love that is loving the world. I am the peace and the love that is loving the world. I am the peace and the love. You are the peace and the love. We are the peace and the love that is loving the world. I am the light and the love. I am the light and the love that is loving the world. I am the light and the love that is loving the world. I am the light and the love. You are the light and the love. We are the light and the love that is loving the world. I am the light and the love. You are the light and the love. We are the light and the love that is loving the world. Oh, we're already there. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. So I want to start us off. This is obviously this is the Burning Bowl service today, and this is all about release and clearance. Oftentimes I find that in that release and clearance, that it's not so much that we want to find something out here that we want to put in here, so to speak, and put our intention like something out here and bring it in. It's that this release process, this Burning Bowl process, is to clear out the blocks that sort of prevent us from seeing what is already waiting to be born within us. We don't have to get it from out here and put it inside. It's already in here. And so this Burning Bowl process, which is one of my favorite services of the whole entire year, because y'all remember back in November last month, we did talk about the power of release last month. That was the power of the month for November, which was renunciation and release. And so we're bringing that dynamic back into this process here so that we can release that which is blocking us from that generative power of life that already resides in us. So I want you just to kind of keep that in mind. We'll be obviously unpacking that a little bit further. But what I want to invite you to do right now is if you're comfortable, just kind of gently close your eyes. This is a contemplative song. Y'all probably know this one. And want to just to like take it in and center yourself in this process. We're sort of already beginning our meditative process, our contemplative process with this song here. And just see what needs to be, feel within you what needs to be cleared out, what needs to be released this year. You might have an idea in your sort of conscious mind as to what that is, but I want to invite you to kind of put that aside for right now and see what that indwelling teacher might be kind of nudging you or urging you to move out of the way. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Okay, let's get this party started. Okay, so yes, it is Burning Bowl Sunday. These next two services, the Burning Bowl at the end of the year and the Whitestone service, I think y'all be doing next week here at the Whitestone service. Those are literally like two of my favorite services, and I like that they come back to back. So today is not so much about necessarily setting that new intention for the year, the New Year's resolution, as it were. That's for the Whitestone service. Today is about release and clearing. Does anybody, is it just me, or does anybody having kind of challenges in the past years, maybe few years, with a lot of the external circumstances that are going on in the world that seem confusing? Maybe things are moving too fast and we don't know how to assimilate. I know, one of the things we were talking about this at one of the Christmas gatherings about, from a parent's point of view, worried about the future for our kids, and I can remember like being a kid and even having my parents being worried about our future, not necessarily maybe worried about the future, so to speak, but worried about us in the future, like how we're going to behave or something like that. But like it's like this external circumstances out here that just seem to be adding a little extra pressure. But I was writing a psalm in this past week or so, and I was working with this concept about how the pressure sometimes can inform our experience. It's like forging steel, so to speak. It takes that pressure. It takes a lot of pressure to make a diamond, for example, right? And so if we look at it that way, it's like any of these things that they're not there to sort of crush us or bury us and everything. They're there to sort of temper us.
and make us stronger and more resilient. And we do have that power of resilience within us, that power of strength and endurance. That's one of our 12 powers. And so what they say is, that which doesn't, kill me makes me stronger, so to speak. It's that same kind of thing. And so I want you to kind of keep that in mind, is that whatever might be sort of impinging upon you, and not necessarily everything in the world, sort of breaks us or inhibits us. There's plenty of good that's going on in our lives as well. But if we want to set an intention to have a greater expression of our Christ self in the coming year, it's incumbent upon us to ask ourselves, what is limiting me? What is kind of keep the governor on the pedal, so to speak, and everything, instead of just fully embracing my potential and my power and everything? What might be limiting me from that fullest expression? And to be willing in this burning bowl, service here today, to not only ask that question as we, go into the silence and everything, but that when we're in the silence, that we listen, like, what is really that thing? You might think you know what it is, and then it might, in the silence, something new come through, and it's like, oh, I thought it was this thing, but it's really this other thing that is limiting me. That's probably the biggest impediment, so to speak. So I want to encourage you all to be open to this process today, to really, really kind of get down to that foundational thing, is that what is the one thing that is most limiting to my expression in the past, and be willing to name that. We'll talk about naming, the power of naming something here in a minute when we get to, the actual burning bowl paper. Everybody got their paper, by the way? Does everybody have their paper and a pencil? We're all prepared for that part. Is that naming that one thing? When we name something, we have power over it now. When it's in our subconscious, our unconscious, and it's kind of rattling around there, and either we haven't named it, we don't know what to name it, we're afraid of naming it, or whatever the case may be, is that it's in the act of naming it and writing it down, getting it out of our consciousness, running around and putting it into a physical form that's outside of us. That's when we begin to assert power over it. So don't be afraid to name that thing. You probably already know what it might be. It's something that's rattling around in your consciousness, probably has been for a long time. It's probably so normal to you that you don't even think it's an impediment anymore. But I want to encourage myself included, that when we go into that silence, like, really listen deeply to that which may serve us in the greatest way possible in the coming year. This is not about setting new intentions right now. This is just about naming that thing that might be limiting our expression. So keep that in mind. I mentioned that, last month we did talk about the power of renunciation. So it's actually still in play, especially in this service with the burning bowl thing. So we'll carry that over. I'm assuming y'all went through the 4 weeks of Advent. Last month when I was here, it was the first Sunday of Advent. We talked about faith and hope. And remember, the power of faith is our perceiving power, right? It's that power that helps us to see and perceive that which is sort of incumbent. It wants to come into expression. We see it before it's manifest in our lives. When we see it with that power of faith illuminates the possibilities. If you had your way, if you had all the time and all the money in the world, and there was one thing in your life that you had not yet fully expressed in this lifetime, what would that be? And that if you had the time, the money, you obviously have the power to express that, but it's not yet expressed in your life. What would that thing be? One of the things I've been doing with myself in the past year or two, especially, but really in the past 6 months, is that awareness that there is fewer miles ahead of me than there are behind me. And I'm looking around at my life and going, what have I not yet completed? What have I not yet expressed? And for me, that shows up as creative expressions, whether it's writing or songwriting. Those are two of the primary ways that they kind of show up for me, is that what's undone? What have you been wanting to do for a long time that you just haven't fully embraced? And in the past couple of months, for sure, I've really embraced my songwriting. I've completed 45 songs in the last 60 days. 45 songs in the last 60 days. Some of these were written like lyrics. Some were just ideas. Some I had music with no lyrics. You know, sometimes just a title. I want to write a song with this title, but didn't have it done. And I came across an app a couple of months ago that helps me demo songs. And so I started throwing a few things in there, like, okay, here's one, all the lyrics are written. I kind of know what the chords are, throw it up in there, and like, boom. Instead of me having to haul out all the recording equipment and set up and do one track at a time, I could feed the information and the prompts to this app, and in like 30 seconds have a fully produced demo. And now I'm listening to a song that sounds like it's on the radio. And I'm like, oh, what else have I got over here that's undone? Right. And I just got very, very excited, enthused, and it really just kind of took me over. And I have completed 45 songs in 60 days. That's the greatest level of creative productivity I've ever experienced in my life, ever. Right. And so now I'm like very, very enthused. I'm like looking for song ideas in every conversation I have. Right. So you might say that I have, because of the tools that have been made available to me and everything, that I have removed all the sort of procrastinations, the reasons for not doing these things, like songs that are written that haven't been demoed or recorded yet. And they just keep stacking up and stacking up and stacking up, because the effort and the time that it takes to bring them into a manifestation that you can hear, right? And feel that sense of like, oh my God, that's so good. What else is there to do? It takes hours, sometimes days, to do that expression the old fashioned way, so to speak. And some of the enthusiasm and the passion leaks out along the way. But this immediacy of being able to take lyrics and chords, put it in here, give it some prompts, want it in this genre, I want a female singing, or I want a male singer in this case, or whatever the case may be, push the button, and boom, here comes a new song. And sometimes they don't come out like you're hearing them, and you have to continue to tweak and things like that. But man, the creative energy that I have gained in the last 60 days, it's fueling everything in my life. You're literally fueling everything in my life. And that's what I want to encourage you all to, like, look at it from that point of view today, is like, what can I remove? What kind of fear, what kind of limitation in my belief system can I remove, so that as I move into the new year and this new realm of possibilities that the new year represents, that you can move into a greater expression for yourself. So this is like I said, you might know what it is, but when we're in the silence, you might be surprised at what it is. And once we're in the silence and we come out of the silence, we're going to have a brief, sort of, half a minute or a minute for you to write down that word or that short little phrase that represents what you want to release in the burning bowl here. So we're not going to name that yet until we're in the silence. And that's more of a listening. We're setting the intention for that. And then we go into the silence. We listen to that indwelling teacher. And then we hear that word or short little phrase and go, oh, that's what I need to release. And you'll write that down. And then we'll come up here and turn and release that into the burning bowl. So we'll achieve today that clearing. And then in the coming week, we'll be listening for, what is that new intention? I've released this thing so that now I can see clearly, that with my faith, I see what is potential for me to bring manifest. And then we'll listen in the coming week. And so that when you're back here next Sunday for the Whitestone service, you might have a better idea about what you want to frame as that intention for the coming year. Like for me, it's just creativity. Like, just, I'm listening, I'm available, send me the ideas, and you can count on me to take action to bring them into manifestation. I have from here to next year, if I see y'all at the end of next year, it's like I have no idea what's going to be created in the coming year. But I do know that I'm going to be willing and available to Spirit, and that I will be listening for what needs to come into expression. And then I'll be that willing vessel, just like, what was it? I think it's St. Francis, make me an instrument of thy peace. That idea is that I'm available. I'm willing. Like, send it to me and I'll carry the ball. And that's probably the best position that any of us can put ourselves into, is just to be available and willing to take action, listening instead of thinking. Man, I tell you what, when I start thinking my way through a problem, I just make more problems. My little pea brain, my little rational pea brain over here trying to think that I know how to fix things or whatever the case may be, I just make more problems. But when I can get out of my way, when I can make myself transparent and available and listen and listen for guidance. And oftentimes that guidance, I promise you, I'm not going to go into this story right here because it's just too much of a sidebar, but I just recently experienced and participated in a miracle in healing two people's relationships. I was in the middle of them, right? I was in the middle of them, and both of them were trying to appeal to me to get involved. And I just kept hearing Spirit say, do nothing. Do nothing. Just hold both of them in peace. Hold both of them in love. And let literally a miracle happen that healed that relationship without me having to do anything, despite the appeals that were being made to me by both parties, choosing not to take sides and letting truth emerge. And it's the same thing I want to encourage each one of you to be thinking about in this release process today is like, what needs to be cleared? What needs to be cleared, right? And then once that's named in the silence and you get a clear hit, so to speak, as to what that is, be willing to write that down. Be willing to name that, because it's in the naming of it that we begin to have power over it. And then come up here and release it in the fire and let it burn up. By the way, let me take a moment here. When you come up here to release your paper, you write on your paper after the thing, don't ball it up. Sometimes when you ball it up and you throw it in there, it doesn't ignite. Just kind of gently, just kind of fold it, just kind of keep it kind of loose so that when you drop it in the fire, it can actually, be exterminated and extinguished and just turn into flame, just turn into it's nothing now. It's like we release it. So don't ball it up. Makes it harder for the fire to do it. Just kind of keep it loose. And it's the same way in our release process. If we're holding on, y'all probably heard me say this before because I say it kind of often. It used to be kind of the way I was, where I used to say that I never let go of anything that didn't have claw marks in its back. No, not yet. Please don't go. Now it's a lot easier now to release because I've got experience at it. It's like most times I don't need to do anything. In fact, doing something usually impedes the progress. So it's making ourselves transparent, making ourselves willing, making ourselves available for Spirit to express through us what needs to come into manifestation. It's always greater than what we would choose for ourselves. Think about that. Like whatever you think you can choose for yourself, whatever you can name for yourself, if you can remove yourself out of the equation, get yourself out of the way and allow Spirit to say, no, it's not this thing. It's this thing. And you find out, oh, wow, that greater thing. And I'll release that, name that these other things that are added to it, right? So listen deeply today and intend deeply and sincerely. Next week is about the new slate and writing down that new intention. Today is just about clearing, right? Just about clearing. In the month of December, the power of the month for the month of December is the power of life, okay? And as y'all know from Charles Fillmore's work, that with each one of our 12 powers, he assigns one of the 12 apostles as the representative for that particular power. And in past years, when I get to December, y'all know that I kind of frame all my talks around the power of the month and kind of that find my way into the talk around the power of the month. But when we get to December, every year for the past several years, I let the Advent season sort of eclipse the power of the month thing. And I don't really talk about the power of the month, which is the power of life in the month of December. And part of the reason I came to understand this year why I resisted doing that was that the apostle that is assigned to the power of life is Judas, right? And Judas is the so-called, betrayer of Jesus, right? And I kind of began to understand this year that I wasn't really talking about the power of life because I didn't really know how to approach Judas, right? I could talk about Peter. I could talk about John. I can talk about Philip and the power of imagination. I can talk about all those and everything. And I get to December and I just let Advent season eclipse it. So this year I decided to lean into the power of life, to like really kind of get a handle on it and figure out how I was going to talk about Judas, right? One of the things that came up for me was that Judas is in a certain way kind of blamed, by history as being the one that betrayed Jesus. But the truth is this, is that that whole process, that whole story was part of a divine plan. Judas didn't do anything outside of the divine plan. In fact, Judas had to do what Judas did so that the divine plan could actually be played out. So if Judas was part of the divine plan and he did his part, he could not have betrayed Jesus. And just a little side note, one of the songs I wrote in the past month is a song called I Am Judas. And it's kind of a Western kind of thing. But it was a song intended to redeem Judas, where the Judas character in this song was actually a man of integrity. And he couldn't be duped or deceived or bribed into doing it. So I kind of wrote this song, I Am Judas, to kind of as part of this apology to Judas and find a way to do it, that he could not have betrayed Jesus. He could not have betrayed Jesus because he was fulfilling his part in the divine plan. Now, he represents the power of life. So what is the power of life? It's the generative power. And I can tell you, without that generative power, none of this would happen. Love wouldn't have a container to express in. We wouldn't have a power of faith or even a need for a power of faith. We wouldn't need a power of renunciation or a power of imagination, because without that generative power, nothing comes into existence, right? So that's another way that we can reframe this, Judas being the representative of the power of life. For those of y'all that are familiar with the chakra system, you might think of the power of life as being associated with the root chakra. It's, it's literally that pathway, that grounding where the energy of life comes up through us and animates everything else. So be thinking about that as well as we approach the burning bowl here thing, because throwing that into the fire, that fire represents almost that generative power. You might say that the life is, the power of life is like a fire sign, right? It's got that generative power of fire. And fire not only consumes, but what it does, it sort of burns away the dross. It purifies. Fire purifies. Like if you put, like, say, the gold ore, the ore that actually has the components for gold, and you put it under a deep fire, what it does, it burns away the impurities and it leaves the pure gold. And it's the same thing that the burning bowl represents to us. It's like, what is the dross that I can burn away, that I can release, that I can allow my intention to be purified by being willing to give up that which is not serving me. And I release that into the bowl, let the fire, let the generative power burn that away, purify my intention. And then as I come back in the next week with the white stone service, I can have a clarified intention and bring that energy of life into that intention. Remember, next month is the power of faith, right? So this month we're burning it up, right? We're bringing that generative power of life into it. And then next month, as we approach the white stone service, we're bringing in the power of faith, which is the power of the month for the month of January, and allows us to perceive possibilities that are not yet manifest. And it's the same thing today. By releasing, we're clarifying. We're removing that which is blocking us from seeing what our full potential is, and then we'll allow that to come into expression in the new year. So with that, I'm going to sit down over here and I'm going to play you a little bit of a song to get us in the silence. I'm not going to do any kind of prelude or prompt. We all know what the intention of the silence is today. It's to listen deeply to that indwelling spirit, right? Just listen deeply, put away all of our expectations about what we think we need to release. You may find that spirit goes, yeah, that is what you need to release. You're right on the nose. You've already got it. But be willing to listen deeply and suspend whatever you may think you need to release, and see if you don't get another signal in the silence, something else that gets named. Just needs to be a word, just a couple words. It doesn't need to be any kind of big explanation. Don't need to write an essay on your burning bowl paper. And just, a word or two, something that clarifies that intention. Just clarify that intention and then release that, right? You release that, you burn it up, And then you focus in the coming week on that being cleared out and listen for that new intention for the new year. So after I play a little bit of this song, we're just going to go into silence. And I'm going to let you sit in the silence a little bit longer today, maybe a couple, 3 minutes, just to listen deeply, suspend your mind, kind of still everything, become as neutral, as transparent, and available as possible. And listen. Don't think, listen. And if you listen deeply, that'll emerge. Like by the end of the time in the silence, you'll have that word or two. It'll be right there with you. Allow it to emerge. Don't jump on something that comes up in the first 30 seconds. Go, oh yeah, that's it. Now I'm just going to sit here and wait till I write on my paper. It's like, no, sit with it. It might still be there at the end. It might truly be the thing, but just be willing to just like let everything float around. And as you get deeper and deeper into the silence, that idea will emerge. And by the time we come out of the silence, it'll be right here in front of you. And as we come out of the silence, I'll do a little closing as we come out of the silence. But once we open our eyes and everything, I want you to just write that down, whatever it was. Write that down. And then when you're ready, we're not just going to have a formal thing. When you're ready and you've written it down and you're clarified and you're ready to release, go ahead and, walk on up here. And by the way, this thing is lit. It's just a little candle, right? It's just a little candle. That's why we want you to keep that paper loose, because if you throw it up in a ball like that, it'll just kind of muck up the process, so to speak. All right, so begin taking that deep breath. If you've got something in your lap or whatever, just kind of set it aside for the time being. Be willing to go into the silence. I'm just going to play about half of this song and then let us get into the silence. Be still and know that I am the breath. The breath is the life. Life is the power. The power is love. The love of the one within. Be still and know. One method, one teacher. Be still and know. Here in the silence, where you are to grow. There's no need to do. There's no place to go. One method, one teacher. Be still and know. One method, one teacher. Be still and know.
As we begin to gently draw our attention back into this sweet sanctuary, would you take a moment before you open your eyes and clarify that word or short phrase? Hold it right in your heart. Maybe see it projected with the power of your imagination right there, that third eye. Kind of see it projected in front of you with your eyes closed like a movie screen. Just see those words up on that movie screen. And when you're comfortable and when that is clarified to you, I invite you to gently open your eyes and write that word, that short little phrase, onto your flash paper there. And as you write that down, before you fold it up, once you've completed writing it down on that paper, look at it. Take it in. Allow yourself to truly see it. To clarify that intention. Yes, I affirm this is what I am releasing. I invite the power of life into this circumstance. I invite the power of renunciation and release into this process. We have worked together to clarify this intention, to clarify this act of release and renunciation. And now we bless this that we are about to release. We thank it for being part of our lives up until this point. And we release it with love. We release it with power. Using our power of faith, we see the new possibilities that the coming year represents. As we put this, whatever it is, we put this behind us. We release, we clarify, we purify our intention. We move that which is blocking our fullest expression. We move it aside. We don't have to stress about it. We don't have to white knuckle it. We can release it in love. We can forgive it and we can forgive ourselves for holding on to it for so long. Release it in love. Release it in joy. Release it in peace. For this whole entire process of naming that which is blocking our expression, bringing in that generative power of life so that we have agency once more. We have executive management control, so to speak. We can release this and bring in that new power of expression. We thank all of our spiritual capacities, all of our 12 powers, for the parts they played in our life in the past year and for the roles they will perform in the coming year. And we bless this power of life, this generative power that represents that fire of Christ that has been born into the world, that is being born within us even right now. And we say thank you, thank you, thank you, living, loving Spirit. We pray all of this and more in the name and the nature of the indwelling Christ. And so it is, so we allow it to be. Amen. And when you're ready, you can begin just walking up here in single file and clarify that intention as you release that piece of paper into the burning bowl. Just say a loving goodbye one more time. Look at that fire there at the end. What's really just burning it all up. let's take a moment and just hold in mind each and every thought and intention for release that was brought into this ceremony, brought into this burning bowl. And we see that fire doing its work, purifying our intentions for release, burning up the dross that has been limiting our expression in one way or the other. We bless that generative power of life, that fire of life. And we see it coming into our expression, illuminating our experience coming into the new year, clarifying our intention. As we move into this next week, looking forward to the Whitestone service next Sunday, as we release this intention today here at the Burning Bowl, we invite in that clarified perception in the coming days, in the coming week, to really bring up that most divine intention that we would like to bring manifest in the coming year. So that as we return here next Sunday for that Whitestone service, we feel that energy, that powerful and clarifying intention for the coming new year. We know that as we bring the power of faith into that service next week, that we perceive possibilities for the coming year that we never thought possible. We say thank you for the coming new year. We say thank you for the year that we're leaving behind. We thank God. We thank the indwelling Christ. We thank that indwelling Spirit for everything that it brings to our lives. And for all of this and so much more, we are ever, ever so grateful. And so once again, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, living, loving Spirit. We pray in the name and the nature of the indwelling Christ. And so it is, and so we allow it to be. Amen. We didn't have to call the fire department, but we may need to call a broom sweeper here.
Okay, well, that was interesting. The little candles burning all the wax out.
Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Rick. That was awesome. Enjoyed that very much. Welcome, first timers. If this is your first time at Unity, we're glad you're here. We hope that you find this to be a place of like-minded people and a place to belong. We teach spiritual tools that can help you no matter what is going on in your life. Please raise your hand now if you'd like a welcome packet, and an usher can bring you one. Okay. We now have an opportunity to support our spiritual cooperative. As we prepare our gifts, we recognize that giving is an act of love, faith, and spiritual connection. Please bless what you are giving now and join us in our offering affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I send it forth with my blessings and my love.
Freely, freely I have received. Freely, freely I give. Divine love through me blesses all that I am, all that I give and receive. Freely, freely I have received. Freely, freely I give. Divine love through me blesses all that I am, all that I give and receive.
We open our hearts in gratitude as we release these donations. We send these gifts forward through our congregation and into our world, blessing all that it affects. Thank you. Announcements. Join us next weekend. If you didn't already know we were having a white stone ceremony, you do now. Our annual New Year's tradition of renewal and setting intentions, the white stone ceremony with guest speaker David Rosenblatt. Please note that our offices will be closed New Year's Day. On January 10th at 1 p.m., we will be saying goodbye to the Christmas decorations and undeck the halls. Many hands make light work, so we would love to see you there. And update on the new Blessings Bookstore and Boutique. The space is currently being redecorated. You may have noticed the shelving in the lobby, but donations can be dropped off during normal office hours, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2. Thank you to everyone who has already helped contribute. We should be open in the next few weeks. Looking for other ways to get involved around here. We're always appreciative of your time, attention, and talents. We always need help with Sunday service volunteers, special events, and the new gift shop. The elections for new board members will be coming in the next few weeks, and there will be several openings to fill. Please see any staff or board members for more information if you're interested. It's a really good way to be involved in the decisions and the information that goes on in the church, as well as a way for you to participate. I guess that's it. Whoops. Sorry. We've reached the end of our gathering. Please rise, circle up, and join hands. Let's sing the peace song and end our gathering with a prayer for protection.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Happy New Year, everybody. Good to see you. Yeah. Good to see you. Happy holiday.